Well, Clipper Nation, this town ain't tall enough for all of us. Or is it? Buckle up because we got a new Clipper on the block, and get some flowers and chocolates because you got to send your thanks and condolences to Toronto because we got Jamarion Sharp. Who is it? And what does it mean for the Clippers? Let's break it all down right here, right now on Clippers Covered. What is up, Clipper Nation? I'm your friendly neighborhood host, Kyle Archer, and welcome to another episode of Clippers Covered. Make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let's get this party started. Who is Jamarion Sharp? Why is this important? What's the defensive impact that we have? The development and team impact. Let's go ahead and start off what the situation is. If you have not seen this yet, we have, like I said in the intro, a new Clipper on the block, Jamarion Sharp, and he just signed a two-way contract with the Los Angeles Clippers. That is right. That is right. If you have not been keeping up with the G League or the Summer League at all, that's fine. I don't really keep up with the G League myself. Whenever players kind of go in and out, I check it out here and there. I don't really lock into it. But this guy, who is now contracted and in the developmental system with the Los Angeles Clippers, was the Defensive Player of the Year for the 2025-26 G League season. So he's got some backing to this. This is huge, Clipper Nation. This is a big pickup. In the Summer League, not the G League, in the Summer League, let's go ahead and look at what this guy did. I took the time and the liberty to put together these beautiful stats. It's not perfect, but let's go ahead and check it out. I'm going to go ahead and start from the top. I do not know what order these games are in. I believe it is 5-1. So we're actually going to start at the bottom and kind of go through this a little bit. Obviously, the total averages are down below. But starting off with the Celtics, 17 minutes, no points. 0 for 1 field, 3 points, nothing. Field goal or free throws, nothing. But cleaning the glass, 7 boards, did have 4 turnovers, 3 steals, 4 blocks. Not great, not a great start. But every game from there, looking great. Immediate turnaround, went for 5 for 5 in 17 minutes, still 7 boards, 1 turnover, 2 blocks. Against the Pacers, 16 minutes, 4 points, 2 for 4 from the field, nothing else. 9 boards. 2 turnovers and 3 assists. Those are fine. Everything's great. Against the Heat, 17 minutes, 8 points, 4 for 5 on the field goals, 4 rebounds, and then 0 across the board except for some blocks. And lastly, against the Nuggets, the only time that he was a starter in the Summer League, 25 minutes, 8 points, 4 for 6 from the field. Again, nothing from the three-pointer. Free throws, 0 for 0. 10 boards. Almost a double-double. And 3 blocks. This guy, if you have not seen any footage on him, I'm going to tell you this right now. 7'5", 235 pounds of pure, I want that. That's what we're looking at. So let's look at this guy's average here in the Summer League. This is, like I said, coming off of the Defensive Player of the Year. So, on average, in the Summer League, he played 18 minutes, 7.4 points per game. Fifth shooting 15 for 21 at 71%. Just over 71%. Sorry, my throat's a little dry. Just over 71%. That's exactly where we want this defensive player to be at. 3-point percentage, 0%. Clipper Nation, I love this. I'm so happy with this. I do not want our 5 to be at the perimeter at all. We already have that in our veteran holding it down, Brook Lopez. I don't want another Brook Lopez. I love that Jamarian Chase did not even pretend to pull from the 3. I'm so okay with that. I don't know what his G League stats are. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I could probably look it up here in a second. But 5 for 10 from the free throw, 50%, that's room for improvement right there for sure. 0.8 on the assist, almost averaging 1 per game. Does have 2 turnovers a game. Sorry, I just went to a baseball game. And I was the worst heckler. It was so fun though. That's a side of the fact, so you have to excuse me in this video. 2.8 blocks though per game. That is tremendous. And all the other ones are there. So started 1 game in Summer League, came off the bench for 4 and 71%. But the biggest one is rebounds, steals, blocks, almost averaging one steal, 2.8 blocks per game. Tremendous. What does all this mean? What does all this mean as far as a defensive impact goes? This is exactly what we were looking for to fill the hole. Hats off to Lawrence Frank in the front office, because this is an incredibly exciting pickup for what this franchise is building towards. This is an insane and beautiful piece to the Clipper puzzle that we're crafting in this offseason. Does Jamarion Chase answer all the questions? No, absolutely not. Is he a defensive threat? Yes, and that's what we need. I'm super stoked about this. This was something that I didn't even see remotely coming close. Jamarion Chase was the tallest player in Summer League. Again, 7'5", wingspan the size of a tow truck. Insane. So, from the footage that I've seen, I did not sit back and watch every single Toronto Raptors Summer League game. So, it was mainly just kind of highlights and footage that I was sifting through and watching. This is the Wemby presence that we need to have, specifically whenever we're fighting in the West. We're drowning in the West, and, maybe we're floating our head above the water a little bit. As in the presence, guards will push up. They have to reevaluate exactly what their game plan is and strategy whenever Sharp is on the court at the 5. So that's exactly what we need. That's exactly what we need. That's the defensive impact that Jamarion Sharp is going to bring. Now, let's go ahead and talk about real quick before we jump into the development, because this is a good transition on exactly what that two-way contract is. If you don't know what a two-way contract is, that means we hold on to Jamarion Sharp in a slot that doesn't fill in the rotational kind of full-time players, if you will. So, Jamarion Sharp will split the time between the G League, San Diego Clippers, and the Los Angeles Clippers. He can play up to 50 games. He doesn't have to hit that 50-game mark, but he cannot go over 50 games with the Los Angeles Clippers. And this is huge, especially for Jonathan Niederhauser. We don't want to rush that injury. I do not believe that he's going to be back for opening night. I don't really kind of care. I want to see him in action. I want to see him going and playing and producing again. But let's not rush it, especially now that we have Jamarion Sharp. Now, Isaiah Jackson. I haven't really touched too much on Isaiah Jackson if you have been following this channel or these videos so far, because we haven't really dove into that part yet. But Isaiah Jackson is great, and I love Isaiah Jackson. I like the way that he plays, and I like the play style. But as far as a big man goes, he's a smaller big man, and he plays better against small ball offense. So whenever you're looking at, these defensive just behemoths at the 5, and, obviously we get the alien. How do we battle against that in San Antonio? That's what every single team in the league questions. Chet Holmgren, how do we battle up against him? And I believe there's a guy over in Portland Trailblazers. I'm blanking on his name right now, but I know there's another threat over there too. That is not the answer, but the step towards the answer. Is Jamarion Sharp ready? No, not yet, but this is such an elite defensive player to have in our system and to develop throughout this entire year. With Isaiah Jackson, here is what I want to see kind of come out of this whole situation. I cannot overextend how impactful this is for the entire team. With Jannikona Niederhauser out, so we're going to pretend he's out of the equation right now. Right now, starting at the 5, easily Brook Lopez. He's the vet, but he's just 3 hungry. I've talked about him enough. But I still like Brook Lopez. I still think that he's a good force and a big body down low. Whenever he goes down coming off the bench, there's a couple rotations. We could probably throw Rui in there a little bit. And it was Isaiah Jackson or Baba Miller now. Baba Miller has a lot of growth and potential that he still has to go through. But this takes a lot of pressure off of Baba Miller. Jamarion Sharp and Baba Miller rotating, coming off the bench, is going to be so good for the development for them and for the teams, especially early on. I would love to see both Baba Miller and Jamarion Sharp take on all of the West teams. I would love to see kind of Rui step up to that role, and I would also love to see Isaiah Jackson take on a lot of the East teams. And this is something that I really think that the Clippers are going to do. Because Isaiah Jackson is not going up against Wemby and winning that fight. I don't care what you say. He's too small. And he's too little. He really is. And it's just kind of an unrealistic expectation and goal for that matchup. It's a mismatch. And that's all it is. Jamarion Sharp, that 7'5", that's a battle against Wemby. That's a battle against Chet Holmgren. He's such a pivotal answer in the hole that we have been lacking in this offseason. This is a huge pickup. So as far as this team impact, this is great. Now, it goes to the question, like I said, is he ready? Clipper Nation, I say it all the time. We are in a let's find out era. And there's not a better time. There's not a better time than right now to just throw these players into rotations and just push the bird out of the nest. See if it can fly. Throw them into the fire and see how hot they can get. Jamarion Sharp, from what I've been seeing and from what I know, the overall takeaway, 7'5" rim protector, getting blocks. If we can see that NBA defensive caliber skill, that's going to earn him opportunity. That's going to earn him minutes. I want to see about 8 to 10 minutes per game. I do not want to see Jamarion Sharp being used in garbage time. No, thank you. That's not how we should utilize him. I think that we need to play situational game minutes with Jamarion Sharp and see how it rolls. I'm so excited for this season. I wish it started tomorrow. We were lacking at the front court until today. Let that sink in. This was huge. Clippers from last season's roster to this season's 180 flip. We're in full developmental system. And this team, in a perfect world, is going to grow and build together. Because they're young and hungry. And they want it. And they're going to work together. Obviously, with some hotheads in there, hopefully that doesn't happen. But this is whenever we throw Brandon Ingram into the mix. I see a lot of upsides. There's no way that a 7'5" monster goes wrong. Could I eat those words later in the future? Sure. Do I want to? No. His shooting is good too. He's kind of just an all-around, like, in the paint scorer, finishing at the rim. Obviously, he just has to hop on his tippy toes and just bop the ball right into the net. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, over and out. Done. That is Jamarion Sharp, and that is why you should be excited about that two-way contract. Because that holds us holds him in the system. Low risk, high reward. Sorry, Toronto Raptors. We snuck another one away from you. And this is big. This is big. If my kind of last thought here is kind of living off in perfect world land, as us Clipper fans love to live in. Giannis Niederhauser gets okay, and he's fully back on it around the midway point of the season, hopefully a little bit earlier. We'll stay about 40% through the season. Giannis Niederhauser back in the rotation. Giannis Niederhauser at the 5. Jamarion Sharp coming off the bench. Baba Miller also coming off the bench. Baba Miller can rotate at 4 or 5. Easy. Not even a single problem. I would like to see Baba Miller and Rui kind of making those rotations right there. Eventually, Brook Lopez, gone. I want to see him gone over time. I think that Brook Lopez is a good vet to keep around for now. We'll see. I'd like to see kind of somewhat of a sign-in trade situation maybe develop. I'm not sure where his contract is off the top of my head. But I couldn't be more excited about this right now. And I wasn't expecting it at all. This was just kind of something that kind of came out of the blind side. And this is just genuinely, I've never been more proud of Lawrence Frank in the decision that he and the front office have been making in this offseason. This has been such a sleeper offseason. Again, I'll stick to it. I will stick to it unless something crazy happens. Our next huge pickup is Peyton Watson. If we get Peyton Watson and things click right and rotations work and Ty Lue gets this offense and defense under control, this could be a sneaky sleeper team. That's the ceiling. That is the ceiling. I still do think fully play-in team, and I'm fine with that. But this is a different play-in team compared to the play-in team last year. I'm excited, and this is a huge pickup. I'm excited to see the rotations, how this goes, and just how Ty Lue utilizes Jamarion Sharp and really just in this entire lineup right now. Darius Garland couldn't have fell into a better place. I really want to do a separate episode on Darius Garland because I really haven't touched on him because we've been talking a lot about rooks, summer league, massive signs, obviously with the whole Kawhi trade. That's a huge thing. We haven't really touched on Darius Garland and his role coming up. This is going to be a great team for Darius Garland and Brandon Ingram. That's all I got for you. Make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe if you like this channel. Comment down below. What do you think? Do you think that this is a good pickup for the Los Angeles Clippers? Do you think that he's going to be a bust? Do you think that he's going to be another G League star? Or do you think that he's going to make some noise in the NBA in the 2026-27 season? Or is this somebody we hold on to for one more year, develop him this year, and then unleash the beast in the 2027-28 season? Because that's a whole nother behemoth of a team that I cannot wait to cover eventually. With that being said, I'm your friendly neighborhood host, Kyle Archer. Thank you for watching another episode of Clippers Covered. As always, you know what it is. Let's go Clippers.